Yo, how's it going, guys? I finally made it back home. No more weird streams with my hotspots. Um, actually, I have my setup back, my microphone, so audio and everything is gonna be good. I try to keep my word. This is why I had those two. That's why the last two streams were the way it was. Came straight from a wedding reception with my tuxedo. Jumped on the stream with my hotspot because I just had to make sure that I kept my word of streaming at the time that I said I was going to stream. Maybe not the best idea in retrospect, but I have to try my best to be a man of my word. Today I'm not really feeling great, I'll be honest with you. My head's not in a great headspace, which is the perfect time to escape with Kagurabachi. Whenever it feels like how I do, I escape through video games, anime, or manga. And to be honest with you, I don't think there's anything else right now that I would rather be doing in this moment in time than reading Kagurabachi. So I'm gonna jump into it. Sorry, I had to just check the stream there to make sure that it's actually working. I'm gonna have to move that to a different panel just so that doesn't get captured. So let's see, I'm gonna move this over here. There we go, because I want to keep an eye on the stream in case I have to figure out a way, yeah, to actually see the chat, you know what I mean? Anyways, I'm sure there's a way I could do this with OBS, but I'm an onk. I'll figure it out later. All right, let's jump into it. So the last time they dropped the bomb on me, right? Turns out Urura is alive this entire time. I was like, first of all, huh? But I kind of guessed it though, because I did call it. I was like, if Shihiro is alive, then chances are Urura is alive as well. Turns out I was right. Okay? So you have my boy Hakuri here bawling his eyes out because he thought this guy was dead, but he literally came back like Lazarus. Hey, what's up, anime? Welcome to the stream. But yeah, oh, by the way, anime, I think I said this last time too. I was like, I get why this dude is why he's your guy, why he's your favorite character. I completely 100% get it now. Because at first I was like, this guy, why is he killing? Why is he dropping people? Hey, Redto, oh, the group is here. I appreciate you guys always popping up, man. Appreciate y'all. Anyways, enough yappa. Let's jump into chapter 82. Like you guys know, you can read along if you want. The chapters are there, the pages are there if you want to follow along, or you can look at my little makeshift manga panel over here. And I apologize again. It looks like my stream is doing that thing where I buffer, kind of occasionally, but I know the audio is good, so I'll try to fix it after. I don't know. Maybe it's because I came back and then my setup is changed. I don't know. We'll figure that out later. Chapter 82 starts off with Shihiro at the top there. All this time I wanted to believe it, but I couldn't be sure. So Shihiro is thinking to himself, okay. Ro is kind of outside the damaged building, which was literally caused by Samura earlier. Well, combination of Samura and Hirohiko. And yeah, I don't know what Shihiro is referring to. This was just kind of out of the blue, but let's keep reading. Ro says that was close. The Kumiyuri, where's Hirohiko? Ro says he retreated. He stood contracted to the blade. The sheet fell. It should be 2 floors down. Shihiro is still thinking. Mr. Samura has advanced even further in the past 18 years. In that battle just now, I sensed that his revival sorcery was an intentional exercise. Why did he hone the ability to kill someone and revive them? That's how. Okay, so that's how he succeeded. Basically, funny things, I did call it out. I did say maybe he did something like what Yuta did, right? Because Yuta did that same thing in Jujutsu Kaisen where he stabbed Yuji to fulfill his contract, and then use reverse curse technique to heal Yuji. So technically, he fulfilled his contract. So I literally called it that's something that the guy might have done, because I just find it hard to grasp that samurai character this amazing would do something so reckless. So why did he hone the ability to kill someone and revive them? And Shihiro is thinking, so to that end, you're willing to let all the sword bearers die. So he's recalling the conversation he had, and then Samurai just said, it's necessary to completely stop the malediction. His only motive is to stop the malediction. He bears no malice towards the sword bearers. Mr. Ura is alive, isn't he? Shihiro says. Yup, we know this for a fact. That was a big reveal last chapter. Mr. Uruha is alive. Samurai doesn't answer. Now we're giving a little bit of flashback. Malediction is a true realm of the Shinoshi. It has claimed countless lives. The only way to make sure it never happens again is to execute the Swordmaster. But if the Swordmaster dies, the eternal contracts dictate that all other sword bearers die too. They refrained from killing the Swordmaster to spare our lives. They sealed up the Shinoshi to minimize the risk of another malediction. Minimize, even still, he had to constantly live with the guilt that the malediction could strike again. And to be honest, I'm also afraid of the malediction striking again. Just the fact that there's a possibility that that ability or that sword and the malediction, whatever you want to call it, can take thousands of life again. I just feel like, I don't know how many swordsmen there are, but they're not that many compared to the amount of lives that could potentially be lost. I'm down for them. Like, I wouldn't do this in real life. Like, I don't have the heart to make such a cold decision. But as far as like manga world goes, like anime world, manga life, whatever, Kagurabachi rolled, kill them. I'm serious, just kill them. Destroy the swords or whatever you gotta do. Just get rid of that stuff, man. And then Samurai says, I'm going to kill all the sword bearers. Okay, so when he said that, I think he just meant like kill them in a way to fulfill, like to break the contract. That's what I think. I don't think he really meant like he was going to kill them. And Ura is like, I thought my time was finally up. But okay, he allowed me to live just a little bit longer. That's why I can't throw away that gift. Samurai says, don't worry. Interesting. So this is like what happened back then. The only one about to die is the hero version of you. Okay, see, this is that, what you call it, this is that sleight of hand trick that mangakas like to do, where they tell you something and you're like, oh my god, this is gonna happen, and it's like, oh no, there's a twist somewhere. I mean, I like it. It makes me hate samurai less now. In fact, matter of fact, I love samurai now. Well, it's all just about our egos. The only thing left is to fight to the death. Okay, kill the guy. That's a flashback of what happened. Okay, and then Ura's like, don't tell me, do you intend to shoulder it alone? Okay, and then he wakes up at the emergency room. Doctor looks hella surprised, like he just saw Lazarus rise from the grave. So from what they tell me, at one point I was clearly dead. My eternal contract was severed. And then Ura understands what Samurai was all about. So that was his goal. He came back to life. It's a miracle. The doctors, I can't imagine being a doctor, right? You see somebody's vitals, everything stops. Heart stops, everything, they're dead. They're clinically dead. And then out of nowhere, they wake up. First of all, I'm going to think this is the Walking Dead or something. Like, that's a zombie. I'm going to call it a night, okay? I'm not even standing to watch what's happening. All that, it's a miracle nonsense. Miss me with that BS. I am out of there, okay? My shift is done early. What? A corpse that's dead, confirmed dead, moving. I'm out of here. He came back to life. It's a miracle. And guy's like, no, not exactly. And the guy says, like a phoenix. Hint, hint, like a phoenix, basically trying to say the ability of the blade Suzaku. Did he implant the flames of mercy into my body so that it would activate after my death? I get it in principle, but revival? Clearly he didn't have that power 18 years ago. I don't know how he did it, but Mr. Samurai cultivated that ability to release the sword bearer's eternal contrast. Yo, this guy thinks ahead, man. He's smart. He thinks ahead. He knew that had to happen, but he knew also that he didn't have it in him. Actually, I don't know. Samurai may have it in him to kill those guys in cold blood, but he clearly didn't want to do that. I feel like Samurai is a very compassionate guy that suffers inside. You know, those strong, silent type? That's the vibe Samurai gives me. And I think that's why because this was probably a very difficult skill to hone, right? It probably took him a lot of time and energy to even get to the point where he can do something like this and stop someone from dying. But I feel like that's his soft side that he's showing. But there are limitations to this kind of sorcery. Even with the spell implanted, if the sorcerer dies, this spell dies too. So it wouldn't work if he implanted it in himself. In other words, this tactic of severing only the eternal contract couldn't be applied to Mr. Samurai himself. Damn, Mr. Samurai must know that. Nobody else has to join me. That's what he meant. Yo, Samurai is very compassionate. You can tell he has a big heart. For him to be willing to sacrifice himself just to stop the malediction, to be honest, that is a real sacrifice. That's like he has a real hero's complex. That's what it is. He has a hero complex through and through. He's a hero. He's like he's got that what you call a Captain America complex. He intends to die alone. He intends to do away with the eternal contracts, the sword master, the risk of another malediction, all of it alone. And that makes Urara sad. But I don't know. I don't like that. I understand it. It is noble and I respect it. But just as a selfish fan of the series, I feel like Samurai is a character I don't want to die. I would like him to be around for a long time. Okay, I've been chasing after you all this time. Only I pursued you relentlessly. Urara is thinking, I alone. And Urara is a bit frustrated there. It's like, I can't move. I can't move. With your internal contract broken, your whole nervous system is trying to regenerate after being distorted for 18 years. It will probably take a few days. Then who will stop Mr. Samurai? He screams. And he's like, and the doctor's telling him, I hear Shihiro Rokuhira joined the counter Samurai force. Okay. Don't report me to the higher ups. There's no harm in having a secret ace up our sleeves. Okay. So one of the guys are like, you're supposed to be dead. One of the guys from the Hishaku. Well, not the Hishaku. It's kind of like Kamunabi members being coerced by the Hishaku. So I guess Hishaku. I don't know. I don't know. The traitors, the defectors, I guess. I'm trying to find a way to categorize those guys. It's like, I lost. At least let me protect this place while they're away. Ura says to Himkuri, aka Hakuri. And there's a flashback to Shihiro saying, I have faith in them. And then Samurai in the present time is now answering the question Shihiro asked earlier about to confirm that Urara is alive, because he figured out that from him using the ability, the Phoenix, that he probably figured out a way to heal somebody else as well within the fight. So he confronts Samurai, basically wants to confirm if Urara is alive, and Samurai simply answers, so what if Urara is alive? And then Shiro basically figures it out, you intend to die alone. And then Samurai simply says, more than anything, the possibility that the malediction and the power of the enchanted blades will wreak havoc in the future is my greatest fear. I know you feel the same. You don't need to stop me. I'll kill the sword master. And Shiro says, yes, I feel the same. Okay, interesting. Looks like they're in agreement, but they collided with swords. Interesting. So he says, I feel the same, but he's not okay with it, low-key. So he clashes with he clashes with with Samurai. And then Shiro simply says, even in your darkest despair, you want to save other people's lives? You fought tirelessly for that? And the guy's like, I'm the same. I'm willing to fight tirelessly to save your life. And then Samurai simply replies, that won't stop the malediction. I agree. It is a noble thing, and Shiro is like me. I really don't want Samurai to die. It's a selfish thing. I just don't want him to die. Logically, Samurai's approach seems to be the best way. It's like the one where with the least amount of casualties himself, and that's it. But at the same time, condemning somebody to that fate is a bit hard. You know, in theory, Shiro understands it, but at the same time, it's like, nah, we gotta find a better way. But we don't know what that way is. He actually has a tangible and a feasible solution right now, which is he uses that whole reverse curse energy technique, or aka the Phoenix or Suzaku, and you know, kill them and heal them. But at the same time, losing Samurai, that's a tough pill to swallow. So I get both sides, but Shiro's side is more emotional in my opinion. But let's just see. I don't know. Manga might have something cooking up for me. So Samurai rightly says that won't stop the malediction. They clash, and Shiro kind of bounces away. And then Shiro simply says, we'll find another way. I'll fight alongside you. And Samurai simply says, impossible. So Samurai is basically treating Shihiro like his own kid. Like, he doesn't want him to shoulder the burden of his sins, because to him, he's just as guilty as the guy who used malediction. That's kind of how he sees it. Okay, so he escapes because he doesn't want to fight. He doesn't want to waste time fighting Shihiro. So I think he throws Shihiro into a room and then just kind of escapes, closes the door and escapes. Shihiro seems stuck in the door. Looks like he's about to look through the pinhole camera. Damn. In the pinhole camera, he sees Samurai about to use the white period style. Okay, now the narrator is saying, I guess the mangaka is saying, the white period style entails building up spirit energy to generate explosive force. He prepares to take Shihiro out in a single blow, a blow imbued with the flames of Suzaku. Right, last time we faced off, I didn't even slow him down. Nothing I say now will be convincing. Shihiro is thinking to himself. So he looked through the camera and understood that basically Samurai was about to kill him again, quote unquote, like kill him, basically knock him out, and then obviously revive him with Suzaku. And then Shihiro this time is prepared. He's like, I have to charge this with everything I've got. Okay, interesting. So he's going to clash with Samurai. I guess they're both going to go band for band. You know, white period style for white period style. Let's see how this goes. Oh, this is about to be hype. It's about to be epic, I know. Through the door, he's determined not to let me read his stance until the last minute. If I move, he will locate me by sound. And then guy simply says, Shihiro simply says, I'll stand my ground. Takes a deep breath. Shihiro gulps. He's kind of like nervous, rightfully so. Samurai is a legend. Being nervous is the right call. And the panel, the sword slowly lifts, like slowly, there's an image of the sword just kind of like slightly unsheathed. And then there are two slash marks across the door. But we don't see anybody. We don't see Shihiro or Samurai yet. So let's see the next panel, what that's gonna show. Damn. What the hell just happened? I'm not even sure I know what. Yo, this EIU white period style is crazy. So I don't know if Shihiro blocks it because he looks unscathed. I see some hints of blood, and it's kind of like a whiplash, and everything in the room, the chairs, the tables, everything is flying. It's like a whoosh of wind, like literally like whiplash. And there's a hint of blood and like shards of glass, I think, coming into Shihiro's eyes, but it's almost like there's like some sort of aura focusing his sight so he can see well. And now there's a flashback again. I don't care if I go to hell. Somebody else is talking. Oh damn, there's a bunch of crow feathers. What the hell? I don't care if I go to hell. But it looks like he clashed with, I think Shihiro blocked it. Okay. Shihiro blocked it. Damn. Shihiro blocked it. Yo, Shihiro is moving with real main character energy right now. Like, I can't even say it's plot armor. I mean, it is plot armor, but I don't know. It's just done well, man. I love it. I'll show you here and now. Damn, he really blocked it. So they're kind of falling down from the building. They're in the air. And I think the expression here on Samurai's face is like one of frustration, because he was just hoping he could easily just get rid of Shihiro and just proceed. But now it's going to be a drawn out fight because Shihiro is not letting up. So now it's band for band, will for will. This is crazy. And yeah, the comment here says the gulp before Samurai attacked, visual masterclass. Yeah, that's one thing I gotta say about this mangaka, right? He's a very good visual storyteller. Like, the little subtle details he adds to his manga panels really helps convey that motion in his static pictures. Like, he's the only one, maybe not the only one, but is one of those rare mangakas that, even though a manga is a two-dimensional art medium, he illustrates it in a way where your imagination filling the gap. You know what I mean? It's almost like it becomes animated in your mind, that you see visually what that should look like. And I think that would be great also for people who animate mangas like this, because then they see something like this and they already know that this is what it's supposed to look like. Obviously, you're going to get your storyboard artist and everything like that, but I just think if I, who is not an animator, can have an idea of what this is supposed to be, a professional like Sakusa animator, or they call that style, art style or whatever, they would know exactly how to execute it. Because I know next year when this anime comes out, oh my god, it's definitely going to be hype. Like, the manga sales are going to up through the roof and everything. Now there's a flashback. So this is back to when Shiba told him about the malediction, and Shiba was basically telling him that's the Shinoshi's power. Rokira didn't talk about it, but he didn't intend to hide it from you. Okay, interesting, very, very interesting. But it was too much to share with you at such a young age. Okay, flashback. Slowly but surely we'll learn to do that together. Shiro simply replies, I understand. Basically, he was flashing back to what his dad was, how it was with his dad, like just a memory of his father. And then remembering something his dad said, which is we're complicit in the deaths they cause. the deaths the swords cause. At the time, he didn't understand what he meant. He just thought he was just talking about how the enchanted blades are dangerous, and since you make them, you're partly to blame. But now he understands like it's deeper than that. And then Shihiro repeats to himself, 200,000 lives. Like, that's nothing to be taken lightly. There's no metric of 200,000 that should be taken lightly. $200,000, 200,000 lives, 200,000 people, 200,000, whatever you want to put at the end of it. 200,000. There's no metric where that can be taken lightly. That's crazy. We're complicit in the deaths they cause. That's why we sealed up the enchanted blades. Shiba's basically, that was when Shiba was explaining. Without the enchanted blades, the people of this country would have been massacred. But even so, Rokuhira was racked with guilt for forging them. Not only Rokuhira, Samura as well. And then Shiro simply says, then why did he give me this? That is actually a great question. Why did he give him that? That is puzzling. What did the father hope to achieve by giving him that blade, knowing exactly what they're capable of? There's got to be a reason for that, and I think Shiro is going to find out in his journey and everything. Because I remember there was a time when his dad was talking to him and telling him like not to try to be like him, but to basically find his own path, because every human being is unique, right? And while you admire me as your father, you shouldn't worry about being like me. You should follow your own path. So does he believe there's something about Shihiro? When was Shihiro born? Was he born after the war? I'm going to assume he was born after the war. So if that's the case, my theory then, who was his mother? That's where my theory goes right now. Who was his mother? Because that could be the key as to why he gave him the sword. Because he's asking, why did he give me this? So there must be something about his mother, something within Shihiro that makes him special, that maybe makes him a countermeasure for the Shinichi. Because there's no way Rokuhira himself didn't make plans for the malediction. Anyways, let's keep going. These are just theories. This is just my mind spinning. I have this weird thing with my mind. Sometimes I get fixated in something and I just let it run. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, now we're back to the clash. Shiro's falling from the building. Obviously, Samura has the ability of flight, because we saw how he descended from the heavens like the angel of death in that crazy panel. But I don't know how Shiro is going to survive this, but he's a genius. We figure it out. So after clashing with Samura, of course, his whole hand is like shaking, because when you hit like a metal bar on concrete like really hard, there's that reverberation that happens in your hand. That's kind of how he feels right now, holding his enchanted blade from clashing with Samura. And it simply says, his strength is insane. Yeah, no shit. If I tried to counter it, instead of deflecting it, he would have sliced my arm off. That's crazy. There's a saying from the Seitei War that's fitting: when blackbirds flock, death is nigh. It's obvious where that saying came from. It came from Samura. Yo, Samura's a real legend, But this guy is literally the agent of death. And then Samura simply tells him, show me, what on earth do you want to show me? That kind of, oh sorry, it's like, show me? What on earth do you want to show me? Because that's what he said in last panel when he clashed, kind of like, I'll show you. Maybe it's just show you his resolve. There's a way to prevent the malediction without sacrificing any lives. Samura simply says, there's no way. And then Shiro says, we destroy the Shinichi. Why did I think of that? If they can just be destroyed, then yeah. Why did no one think about that? If they can just be destroyed, that would be a solution. Why did I think about that? And why didn't Samurai think about that? There's gotta be, okay, the Shinichi is the source of the eternal contracts. If the Shinichi were to be destroyed, the contracts will become null. Nobody has to die. And then the guy simply replies, if only we could just, okay, yeah, exactly, if only we could just destroy it, Samurai says. After the war, we tried everything we could think of. We couldn't even scratch it. Okay, I heard you broke the Cloud Geyser, but, okay. Sword fighting is similar to physical augmentation. The strength of the blade varies greatly depending on the wielder's skill and spirit energy. Whoever was wielding the enchanted blade must have been some really puny talk for it to break. Damn, Soju getting the afterlife burn, the afterlife roast. Damn, not Soju. I'll be honest with you, Soju was my first villain. Well, not my first villain. Soju was the first villain in Kagurabachi that was introduced. That at the time I thought was like a big boss because they gave this hype to this Kamunabi agents. Because you know, Kamunabi, whenever the narrator, or rather the manga, let's just say narrator, whenever the narrator is explaining about, you know, the opponents, you say something like, these are the elite Kamunabi forces. Every time you hear these are the elite Kamunabi forces, you already know they're about to get washed, right? And Soju washed the elite Kamunabi forces with his enchanted blade. And for me at the time, I was like, yo, Soju is that guy. And then obviously it turned out to be just puny talk, like Samurai said, because compared to Samurai could one-shot that dude. It's never going to be a contest. And to be fair, Shiro was extremely weak at the time. He's not as strong as he is now. We're talking about a man they call the Sword Master and Kunishige's Rokuhira's Shinichi. That sword is indestructible. See, never say never, man. Only the Siths speak in absolutes. Just the Sword Master and I have to die. It's the best and only way. And then Shiro simply says, here it comes. So it looks like Shihiro is doing something with his eyes. I see a little like shadowy thing from his eyes. I think it's that thing that comes from them building the enchanted blades that increases their... Sorry, I'm just seeing your comment, Rento. By the way, 81 is like a perfect stopping point. You're in for absolute 81. Are you sure you meant 81? Because I'm currently on chapter 83. Did you mean 81 or you meant something else? I'm trying to figure out if that's what you meant to type there. Renter, let me know. Did you mean 81? Because right now I'm currently 83. Or did I just miss your chat at the time when you said 81? Because I feel like I've been on point looking at the chat anyways. Let me know if you meant 81 or you meant a different like chapter. Just the Swordmaster and I have to die is the best and only way. Here it comes. Crow. He swaps places with the black feathers floating in the air. I'm sure Shiro will be able to keep up with it. Maybe it's because I've honed my sword skills, but more than ever, this sword feels deeply integrated with my hand. My Nishiki flows more lightly and naturally than before. Okay. So he teleports. So he's got... So let me just read the comment here. I love the idea of the enchanted blades not just being important historically, but also having parts of culture form around them simply because they're just that overwhelming. The elite force curse. Look, I'm telling you, every time they say the elite force, they end up getting washed. Mentioning chapter 2 was just reacting to when you stopped last time since I missed. Oh, okay, my bad. Yeah. Gotcha. We're on the same page now. Sorry, just a bit slow there. I was just a bit slow. My Nishiki flows more lightly and naturally than before. Okay. This guy is moving like Minato right now. It's like Minato has like the kunais and his mark where he can teleport to. This guy just teleports to anywhere the crows are. That's a dangerous ability though. And then with his sword fighting skill too. And then he has the ability to heal. Bruh, Samurai is a serious problem. Okay. I think he anticipated where he was going to be. He tried to slash, but Samurai's too fast. He's already behind him, and the sword is literally swinging at Shihiro's neck right now. But Shihiro finds a way to evade. But again, because he can literally swap with any of the crow feathers, this is a very disadvantageous fight to Shihiro. Shihiro tries to use crow. Next thing you know, he ain't there like John Cena, man. You can't see me. He's moved on already behind him. Bro, the ability, like, this is a crazy ability he has. He's everywhere. He's just teleporting back. This is Minato. He's the Black Flash. Alright, Minato's the Yellow Flash. Samurai is the Black Flash. And the fact that Shiro is still keeping up, because I know Shiro is going to get a lot stronger as the series progresses. But holy moly, this is overwhelming. And the fact that he's still breathing, shout out to Shihiro still. Shiro's got a dog in him as a main character. Ah, okay, the trails in Shiro's eyes, a visual effect of Nishiki cloaking ability. Got it. Appreciate you, Rento, for that. Yeah, I thought it was some kind of Sharingan. All right, so they're clashing, they're clashing. Oh, they're going crazy. Even with Nishiki, I can barely evade him, but I see it now. Right before he switches places, there's a trace of spirit energy. Damn. Goes now. Oh my god. This is what you call this. Oh my god. This is what you call experience. So this is what Samurai did, right? So I think Samurai predicted that Shiro was going to figure out how his teleportation worked, which is there's a hint of spirit energy that lingers in the crow feathers. So after Shiro figured that out, Shiro tried to strike at the crow feathers before he appeared, aka strike Samurai before he appears. But what appears in front of him is Samurai's sword. And Samurai then appears behind Shihiro. And while he appears behind Shihiro, he points at he reaches for another feather, and that feather swaps with his sword. So he's been tricking Shihiro and everybody so far. Shihiro was under the impression that he can only teleport himself. But no, he can teleport himself and the object he grabs with the feather. Samurai is broken. Samurai is broken. Are you kidding me? He's broken. He can chill. Like, bro, like he can heal himself? Bro, what? I think Samurai could probably go to toe to toe with Minato. I'm joking. Relax. I'm just teasing. No, don't come for me, guys. It's okay. But no. And then he said, I figured yours out too. Interesting. Okay, they clashed. Well, Shiro, I don't know how Shiro was able to anticipate that. That was a very clever move from Samurai. I gotta give him that. What the hell? That's what years of experience brings you. That was insane. That was actually insane. Yeah, the fact that he can, like, I agree with you, Rento. The fact that he can swap them out like that, it's more akin to Boogie Woogie. I agree with you. You're right. Because that would mess me up. Because, like, is he the one there? Is it the sword? Because now I know exactly what the tell is, but I still can't predict what it's going to be. Anyways, Shiro gets disarmed by Samurai. I mean, it makes sense. Samurai's got years of experience with his sword, right? Shiro gets disarmed, and Samurai simply kicks his head, and he lands in a pool of water. Sploosh. Okay. Okay, so the sword's there, and then there's a question mark. What just happened? Interesting. So Shiro's in the water. When Kunishiga Ryukehira forged the enchanted blades, they didn't craft their powers specifically, only their general intended purpose: to kill or to protect. The original 6 swords were intended as instruments of war to defeat the enemy. Okay, what are you going to reveal now? But the 7th sword, the intent. That's the answer to the question, why did he give it to me? So that's the answer now. We're going back to answer that question. Why did the dad give him Enten, knowing fully well how dangerous the enchanted blades were? But the 7th sword, the Enten, is different. It was the only time in Rokuhira's career as a master swordsman that he co-created a sword with someone. Shiro says, all I did was follow what he said. Okay? Right after the war, your father attempted to destroy the enchanted blades, but they were masterpieces forged with Dantenseki, a material with properties beyond human understanding. Every attempt to destroy them failed. All of them, not just the Shinichi. After that, for nearly 15 years, your father struggled in the darkness with the knowledge of what he'd created, the enchanted blades and the malediction. But all along, you were his guiding lights, illuminating a path forward. That's why he made the bold declaration that they could destroy the Shinichi. So there's something about the Enten. Maybe the Enten is the key. Because I was thinking, like, there's no way Rokuhira himself didn't think about the potential of the malediction being a calamity in the future that would reoccur. So the answer to it is Shihiro. So this is beautiful. So that ties out what the series is about. Okay, these blades were created for war, and like most weapons of war, they always pose that threat again. You know, even in the real world, we have the nukes. The nukes are basically our version of a malediction, right? Now, ideally, we would want a world with no nukes, like a world where it's not possible for Hiroshima to happen again. That would be the perfect scenario to that. But in order for that to happen, you're gonna have to come together as a global entity and agree to that, which is not going to happen. We have bunch of hungry, power hungry, crazed maniacs ruling us. So that is not a thing that can happen. Anyways, long story short, there's some parallels to life as well in terms of that like whole malediction thing. And Shihiro, I guess, as the main character of the series, that's his entire like that's basically the essence. Like that's what Kagurabachi is about. His journey into like learning about the swords, finding them, and making sure he puts an end to the malediction. I'm sure there's gonna be more across the way, but we'll see. Use the intent to destroy the Cloud Garger. Sure, Sojo wasn't a swordsman, he wasn't as proficient with the blade as his previous owner, but even so, he's a strong fighter. It wasn't just his failure, there's no question it was also your success. And you were able to course correct that katana, which had been compromised from its true intent. Okay. Splash. To face the past and connect it to the future, perhaps that was the purpose Rokuhira infused into the enten. That day, you were able to draw out that power. They are still distant figures. Okay. Interesting. So in the water, there's like a fish swimming. Okay. And it looks like the fish is swimming to touch Shihiro's hand. I don't know what that means. Okay, I think the enten is besides Samura. There must be a reason the mangaka is showing us that picture, that image right there. I don't know what's going to happen, but I feel like it's going to be cool. That day you were able to draw that power. Okay, they're showing a picture of the Swordmaster, and it says they are still distant figures. What does that mean? Does it mean like these guys are still on a level that I cannot reach just yet? We need to have principles and accountability, Rokuhiro says. The weight of malediction must have been that heavy. Shiro says, then the enten's true realm. Shiva says, yeah, I'm committed to taking it on. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. So he touched the goldfish, and the goldfish basically forms into the sword. So he can teleport his own sword as well. I wonder if he can teleport himself. So the fishes, can he swap with the fishes? Is that just a thing that the enchanted blade users can do? Who knows? But that was pretty cool. With the intent, I'll destroy the Shinichi. Okay, so that's his answer. Samura wasn't aware of that answer, so I guess this is why he said, I'll show you. I think at some point, Samura did feel his own sword. Like, he felt an impact from Enten. That's why he was like, what's this? Okay, that's what I meant by I'll show you. First comment here on the side says, Shihiro's aura is unmatched. Out of all the blades, I'd have to would to be mini. The aura is unmatched. Okay, I'll just read the comments there on the website. Break the Shinichi? Question mark. Samura says that's how the chapter 84 starts. It's going to be my last chapter for the night. The Enten is the only enchanted blade Rokuhira made after the war. An enchanted blade capable of destroying the other enchanted blades. Aha, that's what I thought. It's the kind of thing Rokuhira would think of. But get real, Samura is not convinced. It's pure fantasy. Even against Tobimune, you haven't so much as nicked it. And then Shiro simply replies, this is just the beginning. Samurai just kind of like, you aren't trying to become a swordsman, are you? And this is a flashback. So no, I want to be a swordsmith like my dad. That was the conversation they had when Shihiro was younger. Even if you did have that power, the burden is from the past. It's not yours to shoulder. I'm Kunishige Rokuhira's son, Shiro interjects. Basically saying like, my dad made this sword, so yes, I inherit the beef. I inherit the responsibility. And Samura simply says, I see. So now it's a battle of will, and I think at this point, Samura is trying to test his resolve to actually see if he's capable of breaking an enchanted blade. So I think when Shiro said, I'll show you, I think that was Shiro's way of trying to say, I will break your blade, so that you know that I am capable of that. And if he does break his blade, what I'm guessing is Samura will become his teacher. And we all know if Samura is your teacher, bro, you're gonna be on another level. Samura wastes no time chatting, teleports with his crow thing. Oh no, sorry. Shihiro goes on the offensive. I think this is the first time in this fight that he's gone on the offensive. So he goes in, Samura obviously reads him because, you know, he's blind, so he has a superpower blind characters of anime. He can sense you from any direction. So he swings the blade before Shihiro can fully like extend his own blade. the blade is near Shiro's head, so Shiro is going to need to evade. It's like, I've never felt this level for us. This time he's really going for the enter, Shihiro says. So this time Samurai ain't playing. But Shiro somehow evades, okay, and then tries to attack Samurai from behind, and Samurai just stylistically blocks it without turning his back, just kind of puts the sword in behind his back, and blocks the blade from his blind spot. And then now Samurai is noticing there's a change in how Shihiro is fighting. It's like, that's not speed alone. What he just did, don't tell me what. Is he teleporting? Is he switching places now with the gold, like the fishes? He says, wait, what he just did, don't tell me. Well, don't tell me what. Let me know. What are they not telling you, Samurai? What is he doing? I see water and I see the fish floating. Is he teleporting, like swapping places with the goldfish? It's the same as Crow. Is that a fundamental power of the N10? Or Aka, it absorbed Tobimune's Crow without breaking the flow. Wait, huh? Or is that AKA also it absorbed Tobimune's Crow without breaking the flow? I'm confused. It's the same as Crow. Is that a fundamental power of the N10, or it absorbed Tobimune's Crow without breaking the flow? Rental Anime, I need your help. What's going on here? Why is it that it appears like Shihiro is teleporting right now? What's going on? Is it that he's teleporting with his fishes? Did he copy, like, did he do like a Kakashi moment here and copy the ability with his N10? I'm not entirely sure. I feel it, how much I'm synced up with the N10. Shihiro is thinking to himself, if I can't even scratch the Tobimune with my Mr. Samurai wielding it, breaking the Shinichi is a far-fetched fantasy. I'll prove it. So that's what he's trying to prove to Samurai. That's what we guessed. The intense power, I'll show you how you can live. Okay, so this is a battle to stop Samurai from going through with his plan, because Samurai's plan involves him dying, and Shihiro is trying to save Samurai from doing that. They clash again. Samurai winced a little bit, because I remember earlier on in the fight when Samurai struck with the Iaiwai Purity Style, there was a bit of a reverberation in the sword handle from Shihiro, and Shihiro kind of like backed into the room and everything. But now it seems like Shihiro has adjusted to that strength, or rather, Shihiro has just gotten some sort of power up in the midst of the battle. And Shihiro's feeling a bit more confident, saying, I can do this. Okay, Samurai replies, this is a joke. Okay, he's pushing Samurai. Well, I don't know if he's pushing Samurai back, but they're going at it. So it's a lot easier. It's a lot more even than the last time they fought. Okay, to absorb Crow at the same time, so that's why he can use the ability. Wait, I didn't even know he had that. I must have forgotten he has that ability. That's kind of sick that his N10 can do that. Okay, thank you, Rancho, I appreciate it. Because I was a bit confused, I'm not even gonna lie. I was a bit confused there, like what just happened, you know? But okay, that's good to know. Alright, so they're still clashing. They're both using Iaiwai Purity Style. I can tell from the way their fingers are set up, so they're about to clash. Are you going to teleport again? Enough. Time for you to submit, Samurai says. Okay. The clash, Shiro is locked in. Locked in. Like the way the eyes were drawn there, nothing but pure focus. Crazy work. It clashes. Oh, but this time Shiro gets sent flying. Okay, interesting. He's still alive. Gets flying, he grips his sword. He hits so hard, but I have to keep going. Yo, Shiro's hand is bleeding just from clashing. It's not like Samurai cut his hand or anything. It's just the sheer strength of Samurai's sword. And that's what I was saying earlier. Oh, sorry, Samurai's swing. And that's what I was saying earlier. When they first clashed, Shihiro literally said the strength is unbearable. So the fact they were clashing, I thought Shihiro had adjusted, but no, he's just toughing it out. So he's still severely outmatched. Interesting. His hand is bleeding, he's shaking, but he's still like desperate. And then Samurai's thinking to himself, he shouldn't be able to wield his blade anymore. And then Samurai simply says, again, it's a fantasy. It's over. Facts, man. Different levels. Like, it's gonna take. I mean, it's fair. Think about it, right? This guy has experience, not just like the 18 years or whatever. He was in a war. All right, he was in a war. That's something Shiro has never experienced, right? And he was in a war with people with Dante Seki. I don't even know what that looks like. I'm sure at some point in the series they're going to show us what that war was really like a flashback or something. But I can't imagine, even with the enchanted blades, that that was an easy thing to do. You know, there were just 6 of the blades. Granted, they're super powerful, malediction and all of that, but the experience, the wealth of experience Samura has, it just begs to reason that Shihiro is outclassed in this situation. It would not make sense for his plot armor at this point of the story to even the gap that quickly. I do believe main character energy is going to click in and it's going to do something that's going to blow my mind, but this outcome, the way the fight has been going so far, it makes sense. When Samura wields the Tobimune, he has no blind spots. Okay, there's a flashback. How do those feathers he uses for detection work? Okay, this is when they were planning for him. Similar to the intense goldfish, they can read the shape of anything they touch in minute detail. With regard to the surrounding environment, I think they can also detect temperature, sound, airflow, giving him a natural sense of space. So Samurai isn't blind when he's using the Tobimune. So if the feathers don't detect us, we might be able to evade him. Okay, so they planned something. Interesting. The Masumi's stealth techniques enable us to conceal heat, sound, noise, and hostile energy. We're able to eliminate nearly all traces of our presence to blend into the environment. Even if he could detect us faintly by our physical displacement of the air, without vision for Mr. Samurai, the Masumi might as well be ghost. Okay, so this is them basically giving us a backstory as to how they intend to get a jump on Samurai. Interesting. Unless he focuses on us intensely, we can vanish. We'll use that to strike and disappear. Okay, so that's what they're trying to do. That's the idea. Interesting. Okay. Shinobis. In the Battle of Enchanted Blades, we alone have the power to intercede. You see, anytime there's hype, I may start to question what the outcome will be. But hey, maybe this hype is real. Who knows? Samura's daughter is watching from the gate with Goat Ikura. You know? Shout out to the Goat Ikura. Okay. Aka. Suzaku. Yo, that's crazy. So Aka can really do that. Suzaku, I knew it. He's replicating my powers. He's trying to heal his hand. That's how... Wait. Is Enten the strongest enchanted blade? He can use the power of the Phoenix now? If that blade falls into the wrong hands, we're cooked. Suzaku, I knew it. He's replicating my powers. He's trying to heal his hand. Suzaku is brand new to him. He can't master the skill instantly. He's the main character of the series. He probably can. That wound took out bone, not just flesh. It will take 10 to 20 seconds at the very least. Okay, this is Samurai analyzing. The Masumi are trying to buy him time. And Ro simply says, why so anxious? Then Ro is thinking, Suzaku could heal your eyes. With sight, the Masumi would be powerless against you. Nonetheless, you are afraid to open your eyes to a future in which you go on living. That's deep. That's kind of deep. Samurai simply replies, silence. And then he's looking back at this child and he sees, like, it's basically recalling, you know, the stuff that the child went through and the fear that the child will someday kill herself, just based on, like, how she was being treated. That's kind of a very weird image for a father to have. I can see why it's like that. And Samurai simply says, I know what the future looks like. So it's because of his daughter that he's acting like this. The Masumi are Samurai's strongest possible adversaries, but even so, they only managed to hold him for under 3 seconds. A mere moment. Damn. I saw that coming. After all that hype they were talking about, we might as well be Ghost. We're the only ones that could do that to the Enchanted Blade. Blase, blase, blah. I already know Kagurabachi is consistent. That's one thing I gotta say. Whenever anything gets hyped, best believe that thing is about to be rendered, that or group of people, they're about to be rendered obsolete. Even so, they only managed to hold him for under 3 seconds, a mere moment, and Samurai simply says sorry. She's like, no time to heal. And Rose says, no, you're failing to see something important. Okay, Samura's rose glasses are kind of cracked, like broken. A mere moment, enough time to regrip the sword. Okay. And Samura simply says he didn't heal. He isn't trying to recover, he's pouring it all into an attack. We don't care how slashed up we get. The Masumi, that's true, they're shinobi. They don't care. Yo, this mangaka's shading is kind of sick. So I'm looking at the some sort of like the impact on the water and just how he's illustrating that with the dark lines and the way the shading is. It's so pretty cool. Being able to like create that much depth with simple lines like that, like you could literally feel the waves by looking at it. Okay, they clash again, but this time the Tobimune cracks, and that's exactly what Samurai needed to see. I think in the next chapter, Samurai will finally come to his senses. Okay, this chapter 84, where I'm stopping, was amazing. A lot of things were revealed here. I'm sure maybe this was revealed sometime earlier on in the series, but Aka is kind of broken. I don't know why I never picked that up. The fact that he can just copy your moves like that is crazy work. Like he could potentially just copy. And also, how does it work? Is it that it copies it permanently? Does it mean like he can heal now with the Phoenix anytime? Bruh, Shihiro is a force to be reckoned with. And also, the Shinushi, bro. Bro, I don't know. This Enchanted Blaze, I don't know. But I know for a fact that N10 is the solution that we need, right? We know N10 is the solution that we need because I don't think Samurai is going to be allowed to die. But like, Shihiro is not going to let Samurai die. It's not. Nah, and it also, he's just like too cool a character to get discarded like that. He might die eventually, but not the way he's planning to go with the whole, oh, I'm going to just off myself and sacrifice myself for everybody. Pretty noble, but I don't think that'll be as interesting as, you know, Shihiro proving to him that he can offer a different alternative, and then him training Shihiro to the point where Shihiro becomes strong enough with the N10 to be able to take on the Swordmaster. Because we know the Swordmaster is probably going to be the big bad. I don't know how long this manga is going to go, but these days mangas don't go as long as, you know, the big three like Bleach, One Piece, and Naruto. Mangas don't last that long. Jujutsu Kaisen, for example, it's an example of a manga. Demon Slayer is another one. So I can see this concluding, I don't know, how many chapters it got right now? Let me see. I can see this concluding like maybe 200, right? So that means he's probably gonna, we haven't been giving specifics up to this point, but it's definitely not permanent since he isn't using the May or Flamebone. Oh, he did copy. Wow, that's true. Okay, good spot, Rento. See, this is why I enjoy when you guys are on here, right? Because sometimes I forget these things. Well, you just you just brought that back, jog my memory now. That is true. When he was fighting that, what's her name, from the Kamunabi clan. I said Kamunabi clan. Kamunabi organization. Yeah, Flamebone. He did copy that. Okay, so it's definitely not permanent. So there must be, but we still don't, like you said, there's no specifics, so we don't know just yet. Okay, good. At least you've clarified that. That's pretty cool to know. All right. Okay, that's one less thing that's one less mystery for me to ponder on. Anyways, I'm just gonna be going over this in my head right now until tomorrow, trying to figure out what's going on. I like playing with theories in my head. I'm sure most of you do that, as like everybody does that. If you're a fan of like fiction or any sort of fictional media, you know, it's fun to just ponder on this and what it could be, and then the author or the mangaka shows you what he's cooking, and it blows your mind because, well, he's a mangaka and you're not. But it's fun to just ponder on these things. I'm sure you guys already know way more than I do because you're way ahead, but it's fun for me where I'm at right now, you know, chapter 84. But I'm getting close to the hundreds, and like I said, this is the last one. Sorry, I'm just yapping too much, but appreciate you guys for always jumping up. Definitely makes this a lot more fun and interactive. Also helps that you guys, like, you know, remind me of things and just correct me, like some of the things I misunderstand. Truly appreciate it. But yeah, that's the end of tonight. That's the end of the stream tonight. Thank you so much for jumping on. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. I'll try my best. I'm trying to stream at least 5 times a week, so Monday, Tuesday to Friday. I should be able to stream tomorrow. We'll see. I'm going to do my best to stream tomorrow, so I'll catch you guys tomorrow. I'm gonna try and commit to that. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Also, Rental anime, let me know where you guys are. I actually don't know where you guys are. I don't know if you're, I'm in Canada, if you're wondering. I'm streaming from Canada. I'm streaming from Ottawa, Canada. I don't know where you guys are. Just let me know where you guys are in the comment section. While I'm off stream, I can still read your comments, so just let me know. This whole clash between Shihiro and Samurai is very fun to me. It's probably the most shonen MC he's been up to this point. Really, since he tried to talk no Jutsu Samurai. That's a big fact. Few chapters left in this arc. Okay, thanks anime. Good to know. Anyways, peace. Have a good night, guys.